Just all in the mind.
Welcome back, episode 122 of Revisited, and we are talking about, I guess, a double whammy because I don't know whose side this person is on.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, this is either way. It doesn't really help because Deku sucks, but Naruto is great. Naruto sucks, but Deku's great. Either way, it's just like, or they both suck, or they both great. It's and this is another thing where if somebody does talk about a character, it's like, okay, are you doing it in a way that is logical, that we agree with, that we can Wait, I just noticed that.
What?
My Hero Academia?
Oh no.
It's not even, you can see that it's not slanted in the way that the other things are.
Yeah, this is super. Why wouldn't you just do a generator, like a text generator, and just write it all out?
Yeah, really.
Well, maybe he wanted the
hand
to stick out.
This was an older video, 5 years ago, so maybe they didn't have it. Okay. I will say that maybe ...
We are talking about the willingness to change. My Hero Academia versus Naruto by ChucklesP. I believe we did a video on ChucklesP. I'd have to go through the archives of the creators I've written down of who we've done.
His avatar looks familiar.
Or maybe it was Funky P I'm thinking of and not ChucklesP. But I'm almost certain we've done ChucklesP. Doesn't matter. Description, boys.
I was looking, since it's so long ago, I was looking to see around the time it came out.
No problem.
August 2018. So this is a little... Did we just finish Gentle Criminal?
The Gentle Criminal?
Yes, it is a little bit after Gentle.
That's crazy. So it's not even talking about things like Black Whip and all of that. But that happens after the fact. So what could possibly be here?
I don't know what this is. And I don't remember it since it was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we were initially going to do this until we skipped Revisited last week. I don't remember.
It was the Spider-Man one.
Then why didn't we do this? Oh, we thought about doing this one and instead went for the Spider-Man one. There we go. So now we're just doing this one.
No description, boys.
No description, boys. That's cray.
He has a MyAnimeList, and I went to go check it out. Does not exist.
Gave up on it, or did they just change their name and now that old link doesn't matter anymore? Oh no! What's the face? There's a face being made. Did we
do this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we 100% did that.
So we did the Hunter x Hunter succeeds because of Yu Yu Hakusho's failures. Okay, yeah. I don't remember that being very favorable.
I'd assume not, but you never know. We might have given it like a 6.
Okay then.
Let's get into it.
Bap.
He's using his fist instead of his feet. That's what the hand is for.
I thought I was thinking like Shigaraki and he's the actual hero because he's trying to...
Is this a Deku is so smart but he never once thought to use his feet argument?
He has another video. This just... Write a description. What are you doing?
Hey, we don't use tags. Who are we to...
He has a video called Hands in My Hero Academia. Yes, seriously.
Okay.
All right.
Guys, I know. The era of hands is over. The era of feet has just begun. Young Midoriya has cast aside the shackles of his admiration for All Might and become a unique fighter all his own. He's fighting like the little bunny we all know he is on the inside. I read the same comments over and over and over and over, and even though I hate to admit it, you are all right. But that doesn't make my last video wrong. If anything, this immediate shift from a focus on hands to a focus on legs exposes the unique properties of My Hero Academia to embrace change. What other show, let alone other shonen, would spend 2.5 seasons and 50 plus episodes developing a character with unique fighting and animation styles, then just say screw it and go in a completely opposite direction?
Unique is punching?
He absolutely aped the style from somebody that was there, so I don't know how it would be unique even in universe, let alone a guy just throwing big punches.
The most unique thing that you could say is the air bullets, the little popping, yeah. But that's really about it. That's not unique. That's totally, absolutely fine. Whatever, cool, whatever. If it's, I don't think that it's.
Didn't Sakura do this exact thing?
She didn't really have a fighting style, though.
Deku doesn't either.
Yeah, he's just a punch man.
To fit the symbolism established just a few episodes prior. After my 8-month anime binge, I can say I would have expected Midoriya to follow along in the path of it.
He gave Boruto a 4.
But he gave My Hero Season 3 a 10.
What was Season 3?
Oh, what's that, Gentle? No, that was Overhaul.
Yeah, no.
What was that, Forest? No, that was Overhaul. Overhaul.
Any other normal anime hero.
I'm sorry. What did you just say? Let me just bring it over here. I'm not fighting with this. It's just so much harder.
Expected Midoriya to follow along in the path of any other normal anime hero, taking the most insane risks imaginable and putting himself in danger over and over in order to live up to the title Symbol of Peace.
He did that.
Yeah.
Overcoming all odds with a smile on his face. That's the Midoriya we had come to expect, was it not? Would his ticking time bombs for arms not just be another roadblock to get through on his path to becoming the world's greatest hero? Well, his shoot style says no, and my god, is this not incredible to me. Very few times have I seen such a distinct willingness.
But it's not, though. Because let's say that his legs are trapped in cement or something, he's gonna be forced to punch. It's not like his arms are now just completely useless. They are always an option.
And he still does the air bullets with his arm.
And like an arc or two later with the war arc, he just starts using his arms. So it's not like it's completely off the table. It's nothing. It's not some revolutionary thing that he just starts kicking.
What is the difference between All Might style and shoot style? Like, instead of punching, he's just kicking.
It's just using another appendage. It's not something that's just, oh my, jizz sort of thing.
The changes of his fighting style.
It's not even like he's using, what it about, is he can't use his arms anymore, so what else is he supposed to use?
If Deku goes full Culling, he zip zaps around the thing, and then he starts to hit the opponent. All it is now is it's a kick instead of a punch.
Yes.
This is not some whirlwind change of...
This is not going from harder hits to a lot of smaller, softer hits to lessen the impact on his arms.
It's not a guy that primarily uses a projectile-based weapon like a gun, switching to swords. Like, that is not some big change.
To change in my shows, and even fewer times have I seen it work so seamlessly.
What did he say about that?
I've seen such a distinct...
Uh-oh. Oh, cooked.
Shoot Style says no, and my god, is this not incredible to me. Very few times have I seen such a distinct willingness to change in my shows, and even fewer times have I seen it work so seamlessly.
And this is where I think having his MyAnimeList would help, because JoJo's changed protagonist every single time.
But
in
what
these
he's
50
saying
years.
is, I would assume the change of their fighting style.
We would only have to assume that because he said just the willingness to change. But he showed Korra and he showed Aang.
But we're talking about, he just showed shoot style and he just talked about the change. So the only correlation we can have there is that.
But there wasn't any real change to the fighting styles of Aang or Korra. It was just a growing of that. Aang didn't stop using airbending because he learned waterbending. He used that in tandem with it. It was just it was a goal all the time to learn all four elements. So it's not like you're changing, you're moving towards that goal.
Yeah, it would be like him lauding Flame of Recca for unlocking more of the dragons. Like, it's not really.
So I can only assume he's talking about, I was gonna say the changing from Aang to Korra, but he showed Korra then Aang.
Mm-hmm. I truly just have to assume he means the fighting styles themselves.
But it doesn't work like that. Because Korra, I don't know. Whatever, it's fine.
But this would be like Goku changed his fighting styles because now he can use Ki Blast. Like, that's essentially what he's saying. Naruto changed his fighting style because he can use Elemental and Rasengan.
Wait, no.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't make sense.
I was gonna say, where is he going with this? Where does Naruto come into this? Because is Naruto not willing to change?
Yes.
But he does have.
From day one, he used the Shadow Clone.
Absolutely.
And from day 700, he used the Shadow Clone.
Absolutely. But he also has the Rasengan. And he has a bunch of different Rasengan abilities. He uses his Sage mode, which has Frog Kata. He uses summonings. He uses the speed of his chakra mode.
You're not gonna find. I know you're usually tuned in to Bum. You're not gonna find the answer in that dome this time.
Yeah, I know. It's just hard. Especially considering we see now that this is not an individual who likes to explain themselves.
Yep.
Which is a big issue here.
Yeah, he's got another 13 minutes to do.
Absolutely. But he goes, I've rarely seen it, which means that he has seen it before, and he hasn't seen it work this well, but he points to Aang. So what did he like about that? What was the change? What did he think was good about it? We don't know. So we don't know his like base level of what I expect for this type of change thing.
And even fewer times have I seen it work so seamlessly. As seen in episode 54, the change was made for both logical and symbolic reasons. Logically, we have a hero who needs to make himself last. After the complete retirement of All Might, Midoriya knows that he needs to fill the shoes his idol is leaving behind for him. Fighting the greatest coalition of villains the world is yet to see is not...
I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to fill the shoes, because you can always just give it away.
Give it away, give it away, give it away.
What do you mean?
But who would he give it away to?
Doesn't matter. The little kid, who cares? But
Barry?
He doesn't have... No, the little kid from the muscular fight.
Kota.
I think... What?
Kota.
Why do you remember his name?
That's a good question.
That's not an answer, though! You placed a statement on my question!
I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do to question?
Yes, but it doesn't answer it. You just acknowledged it at best.
Something that can be achieved in a single contained fight. If the 8-generation-long battle between All for One and One for All is anything to go by, the My Hero Academia universe is not shy to drawn-out disputes, and Midoriya recognized this. By shifting the mate...
And within 2 arcs, he's dead. And now it is just this other dude who just has a clone of his powers. All Might is done, so in Deku is shooting his quirks into this man's holes
with the punch.
So he's losing the quirks anyway. So it's no longer a long drawn out thing, and it hurts. I know this isn't about what he's talking about, but I'm just saying it doesn't really help the generations long conflict to have just like, oh, here's a panel of just Nana getting demolished, and you just go. Well, why was she allowed to just walk around for all this time? The third or fourth month where they're still super weak and they're just hiding out. Why were they not found? Why were they allowed to transfer this? It doesn't make any sense within the world when this man has so many quirks and he's got search quirks. He's got all this stuff.
Strength quirks.
All this stuff. And they're allowed to just live? You find them, it's like, I don't know, I already transferred it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kill everybody that was ever close to you. Because you probably gave it to one of them.
Oh no. And then by the time you get to that person, they've already transferred. It's dumb.
And Midoriya recognized this. By shifting the major brunt of his fighting force onto his legs, Midoriya believes he will be able to reach the greatest heights and maintain order in a world rife with chaos. Symbolically, Midoriya recognizes his past failures. While I may not agree completely with his assessment of the situation, he believed that him breaking his arms indirectly led to All Might retiring completely. He believes that if he were able to use his legs in the same way as his arms, he could have saved Bakugo from Dabi, making the subsequent fight with the League of Villains and All for One unnecessary.
But you would think that such an analytical person like Deku,
he's emotionally stunted.
I understand that. But you would think that he would realize that. You would think that he would go, legs are inherently stronger than arms.
It's too much of a I'm for the all might.
I
mean,
understand.
the god hero Dynamite. It's just who they are.
I understand.
Don't grit your teeth while you say that. Your jaw clenches. I understand. Boy, my hero does something to you.
Absolutely. Because he doesn't try it even once when you go, oh, my arms are breaking. He does not try it.
He's just like, hey, if my arm's stuck, I'll just use fingers and break those instead.
And the hero worship stuff, you could say that, but then he does the finger stuff but All Might, we've not seen All Might do something like that. So he's willing to innovate in some kind of way, but he's not willing to just go, hey, my arms are shattered against Todoroki. Well, I got my mouth. What that mouth do? What was that? What was that in Detroit?
Oh,
what did that mouth do?
Something. Yeah, hold up.
But yeah, you would think.
What that mouth do?
What that mouth do?
What DAT mouth do?
I was gonna say put it up on screen, but
I can't.
It's fine.
I can't.
It's fine. Maybe creatively censored.
Maybe I'll link to my tweet about it in the description.
Either way, but that was his mindset of what that mouth do instead of. Well, not that was his mindset.
I would hope not in that time that this, what that mouth do, was in his mindset.
This man has been abused. I'm in front of all these people in the world. I gotta showcase what I can do and what that mouth do. But yeah, that's just my whole thing. It would have. Even people around him, somebody like an Ito would have just been like, hey, yo, recovery girl. It just...
Well, to be fair, they didn't really know how Deku's power worked.
Sure, but they can see that his arms are getting jacked.
But they're probably thinking he just punched too hard and it'd be the exact same with his leg. He just kicked too hard.
But then you could at least, like I said, legs are inherently stronger. Even Eraserhead with the arm stuff when they were throwing the ball, he was just like, "Oh, you're gonna break your arm, so I'm just gonna erase the quirk." But then he just so you think
If only he could have been a little bit faster, a little bit safer, and a little bit more well-rounded. His development of shoot style is multifaceted, but that's not entirely what I want to talk about. The most important thing about shoot style, in my eyes, is how much of a departure it is from Midoriya's previous style and old approach to fighting. He's making...
Okay, so it's full cowling, technically.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
What is he doing? He is swinging his legs. What was he doing before? He was swinging his arms. He also had the air bullets thing, but he still has that with his shoot style.
Before, his fighting style was, I'm gonna punch enough to keep people back and away from me. And now it's full cowling, I'm up close. What's the difference?
There's no real difference.
Such a dramatic change in order to more easily and frequently smile in the face of adversity.
It's not a dramatic change.
It's going from your left hand to your right hand. And you're going, my God, the change in fighting style. It's fake Kenpachi.
He's not changing his distance. He's not going, I need to be faster. I need to dodge more. It's just, I need to swing with an appendage, and it's just my legs now.
And the results of this change are already showing. While the switch itself is symbolic, it is also representative of My Hero Academia as a whole. The show is a shonen, first and foremost, but one willing to change established tropes in order to be the greatest it can possibly be.
Yeah, boy! Subversion!
What tropes is it possibly doing this for? What could he possibly be talking about?
I don't think he's going to be talking about anything.
Moving on, boys!
Therefore, My Hero...
Moving on, boy! What
Perfect.
tropes? Who gives a
You know the tropes. Shut up.
Shut up.
And My Hero doesn't do them. And if they do them, they do them well. So everything's good. Do it, don't do it, subvert it. Everything.
Exactly as expected. Who gives a
and that's the subversion. Who cares? But My Hero does it. Whatever it does, it doesn't, and it does.
And others don't or do.
And that's fine too.
But this better.
But My Hero does it in cases that it does. So there it is.
While others don't do the does.
It's like, would you shut up with this? I'm so sick of this trope bush. Talk about the thing.
Yeah, don't just say it doesn't do the tropes or it plays with the trope. Explain those tropes. Explain what it's doing differently than those tropes. And then explain why that's something to be lauded, to a positive that's going on in the structure of the story, in your analysis of the series. Anything more than it doesn't do the tropes. Therefore...
I would love to just talk to somebody like this and just go, okay, take a month, make a story, make a world, make a first chapter. And I'd read that chapter and just go, okay, this comes from this comes from this, this comes from this. Are you doing it as an homage? Are you subverting expectations? Are you
doing the thing?
Or are you just writing a story and it just happens to be correlating with a bunch of other things? It's not always I'm writing this to subvert a thing that happened over in Naruto. Sometimes a story just need to be told.
It's not always an author just in their mind going, all these other things do this, let me do this. Hey, this is something that's popular. Let me just follow that thing or not follow that thing.
Sick of
Sometimes people just think, hey, I've got a good idea, a cool story in mind that I want to put pen to paper.
It's just fighting with this dude now. Maybe there is nothing here. People are always going to be, oh, look, Naruto and Sasuke. Yeah, of course people are going to do that. Expectations of family or whatever. People are always going to do that. But this month maybe just wanted to write an ice guy fight with a punch man. Maybe sometimes it is just that. Sometimes it's more absolutely. Look into whatever you want at any point in time. Don't put this on the author unless you got somebody an interview going, hey, yo.
I purposely with the tropes.
I'm just so sick of it.
Ropes in order to be the greatest it can possibly be. Therefore, My Hero Academia incorporates the idea of characters changing rather than just growing or evolving to craft a more engaging and meaningful story than similar shows in the genre.
Oh! Are you telling me Goku has not changed his fighting style from the very beginning of this? Are you telling me that Asta has not changed his fighting style from the very beginning of this? Are you telling me that Luffy has not changed his fighting style since the very beginning of this? What is the difference? What makes it a change versus a growth?
Yeah.
Because Asta uses 2 swords now. He has his big sword and he has a small fast sword. When Ichigo gets his Bankai, is he now changed? Or did he grow? Just a slight difference of fighting style in your eyes means a character's change.
And it's not a person that explains themselves properly. So we're not gonna
get this. So I guess he's gonna
get against the One Piece and the Naruto and all this other. Well, we are gonna get Naruto, but we're not gonna get the One Piece and stuff. But we barely got the Deku stuff, other than he had to use his legs now.
What I do here is make a claim, then I back it up with a hefty amount of evidence.
X.
A big X.
I'm no Matt Pat. I don't fill a 13-minute video with 2 minutes of evidence and 11 minutes of jokes. Here, I go hard on analysis.
Dude, you've spent 3.5 minutes of this 13-minute video on jokes and just claims.
Yeah. It is very clear what happened with Deku using his legs. You're not breaking any new ground with that.
So, please stick with me while I step away from discussing only My Hero Academia to more accurately explain why this sort of story writing tactic is so unique. A comparison to another shonen is necessary, so I feel it necessary
unique to change. Okay, here we go.
Up Naruto. An extremely polarizing show, yes, but one of my favorites? I'm honestly a slut for the genre, so yeah, it kind of is. Naruto is a show about growth.
Go back.
It was all 6s and 4s. What am I going back to?
Then how is it your favorite?
Likes and thinking is good are 2 totally separate things.
I'm honestly a slut for the genre, so yeah.
Then we have to just assume that is when he rates something on MyAnimeLists, he's rating it on quality and not on what he likes.
Enjoyment.
Which is very weird to give My Hero a 10.
Kind of is.
Yeah, that season.
Naruto is a show about growth, first and foremost.
No, it's not. I don't know exactly how you can claim that.
It was just such a tire. No, it's not.
I've never heard anybody say that. Hey, let's hear this hefty amount of evidence.
The goal of the main character is to stockpile power in order to reach higher and higher heights.
That is not he wants acknowledgement, and the Hokage just so happens to be the most acknowledged, and it just so happens that most times, the Hokage is the strongest person in the village.
What stockpiling of power did he do between the moment that he got the shadow clones and the summoning?
Yeah.
What did he do? What training did we see him go through?
That stockpiled power. Like he learned taijutsu from Rock Lee.
When was it ever his mindset of I need to get stronger in order to become the Hokage? It was just these missions are boring. Let's do something else.
Hoping to one day become the most powerful ninja in his village.
No, the leader of the village. It just so happens that most times they're the most powerful. If Shika became Hokage.
If you say if.
I know. I was just trying to.
It's so dumb.
But Shika is nowhere near the strongest member of the village.
So dumb.
He is just.
When Kakashi was the Hokage, he wasn't the strongest in the village.
So it's truly just, hey, you're gonna be the Hokage. Like it's a council of people that picks it.
Yeah. It's because if it was just the strongest in the village, they wouldn't go, okay, we need Tsunade.
They would just go, let's have a tournament.
They'd just go, how about the son of the previous Hokage who right over there? There wasn't even like I don't wanna. He was just like, nope, we need Tsunade. What? I guess, is he just incompetent? Why didn't they choose him? What's wrong with Asuma?
I would assume he didn't want it.
I would have liked to see that.
Yes,
I would have liked to see.
We would have liked to have seen a lot of
him
things.
Being distraught over his father's death. But we did not see that.
Would you be distraught over his death?
That's a different thing.
What have we seen him do for Asuma?
Holy, cause what? Yeah, cause like the next arc was Itachi just rocks up. So you think that he was cool and smiling like, hey, are you two on a date? Oh, dad. What? But that's the Spider-Man thing. How long do you want him to mourn? He's moving on with
a little bit longer.
Yeah,
2 hours.
But yeah, that doesn't make too much sense now that I'm thinking about it. Naruto is a series where you can't think about it too hard.
Yes, the more you think, the more cracks are shown. The more cracks are shown, the more things fall through the seams. It is truly one of those, looking way back, it looks like a picture, and then as you get closer, it looks like a bunch of other pictures, but all the other pictures are poop.
Oh, that's too much poop.
While suspiciously similar to the base plot of My Hero Academia, characters in Naruto only care about obtaining power and beating the odds in order to win their respective situations. There's no thought given to what becoming Hokage would actually...
It wasn't... Lee wanted to prove himself that it wasn't to beat his situation. You showed Lee. And in that fight, he said, I want to prove that a monk like me,
just some guy,
can be a great ninja. It's not about, you got Sasuke going, that is the muff that I need to punch. But Sakura was, I don't want to be left behind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be seen as a burden. So I need to do something.
Mean, or what risks would be too much.
Yes, sir. Hear all that, because that's some bullshit.
Out of My Hero Academia, characters in Naruto only care about obtaining power and beating the odds in order to win their respective situations. There's no thought given to what becoming Hokage would actually mean, or what risks would be too much for each character to take.
Absolutely, that's on Naruto himself. That is not.
He's a stupid boy.
That's not Lee. This is Naruto. Because we don't know what it means to be a Hokage.
To this day.
This is a dumb kid's dream of, hey, the Hokage's up on the mountain and people like him. I want that.
I'm gonna be president.
Yeah, and then everybody gets ice cream. It's like, no, that's not how it works. But a kid's mindset is like that.
Instead, it's just train, fight, win, achieve your dreams. I can't blame the show, honestly, because I can't imagine Kishimoto thinking the series would ever drag on for as long as it did, or really even have a formal ending. But what we have...
And you see, this is what we said in the beginning. He's negative on Naruto, but he sucks.
Also, where's the mountain of evidence that we're going to be shown?
It's
here?
Just train, fight. He achieves his dream.
Isn't that what Deku does?
No.
But he changed from a punch to a kick, so it's different.
Yep.
It's unique.
Well, I was just about to say that. I'm glad that you figured it out.
Is what was made, and I feel apt to look at it as it is. I should note that I'm only talking about characters introduced as good guys, because Naruto's constant, unyielding use of Talk no Jutsu means every single villain of the series aside from 2 changed their minds about being evil at the very end of their lives, and that's just dumb.
Hisame,
Yeah,
Sasori,
he did not.
Kakazu, Hidan. That's 4 members of the Akatsuki I've rattled off.
Sasori did not change his mind about being evil. He was just like, I'm just sick of living. If I'm going out, this is a pretty good time to do so.
Deidara didn't? That's 5.
And then if you want to talk about the people turning good because of Talk No Jutsu, you have somebody like a Kabuto who did not turn good because of Talk No Jutsu. That was just something outside of the situation entirely.
And he didn't even turn good, really.
I think he has an orphanage.
We're talking Boruto.
We're talking end of Naruto.
That's not good. He shouldn't be allowed that.
Well, that's something that you gotta put on. You gotta talk to Naruto about that.
Him doing good is not the same as him being good.
I would say that the lack of bad things that he has done would qualify him as good, and the repentance, even though it was a literal forced repentance.
Yeah, if you brainwash Hitler, is he not?
That pain and show is good.
There are too many examples of growth for the sake of growth in Naruto for me to even count.
Hey, a mountain of evidence. There's too much for me to name.
Is he gonna name 3?
No!
2.
Maybe.
I'll just bring up a few key ones.
Alright, yep.
Jiraiya was much the same person through his entire life. Pervy, yeah, but a true fighter through and through. From his younger years all the way...
But he's also a bit of a coward because he didn't want to be Hokage. Because he didn't want that responsibility.
But he's also super brave because he just goes, hey, I'm gonna go fight pain. And Tsunade's like, you gonna die. He's like, yeah.
That's the way it's
that's
gonna
what
be.
it's gonna be.
Through to his death, he refused to back down from any challenge, hoping to keep peace in the world as well as he possibly could. Turning down the position of Hokage when offered to him indicates his reluctance to change from his old ways, and his death.
Oh my goodness! Everything is gonna be through the lens of change, so anything can be as good or as bad as it needs to be, because I can always go, yeah, but they didn't change though.
But Sakura changed, Neshi changed.
This man changed to his feet. That's the change. What the
that's a crazy bar right there. That man changed to his feet.
It's just not enough when you're talking about whole character arcs and everything.
Jiraiya was the same character, but the kid Jiraiya didn't have all the stuff adult Jiraiya had in terms of fighting. So is that not a change like Deku, or are we now counting character growth and character arcs and that type of thing as a change?
Deku went, I have to change, not only because I need to stop idolizing All Might, but because I literally cannot do the thing anymore.
Combat solidified that piece of his character. Someone who could accept a bench role as a teacher of the next generation would not have sought to do something like this all on their own, meaning Jiraiya never truly changed from his old ways to fit what was needed of him.
Pause. No, what if he was protecting everybody by going, I don't know what this dude can do. Yeah. I'm not gonna bring other people into this. He's 6 of them up. But who are you gonna bring? Kakashi, he's already been shown that he can't handle a single muff and lower ranking Akatsuki member. You can't bring Naruto because they're going after him. You can't bring Tsunade because she's the leader of the village. You can't bring Asuma because don't nobody care about Asuma. Ain't but like 6 Jonin in the village.
Yamamoto.
Yamato.
Who's Yamamoto? Oh, Bleach dude.
But he's the key to keeping Naruto under wraps in case he foxes out. So who could he bring? This is a mission for him. And this was also his mindset of, I caused this, so I'ma either fix it or I'ma die trying. And at least we'll get some information for that month, the chosen one, to do so. You're simplifying the characters. when you simplify Deku so much that it is, I need to stop worshiping All Might kick.
Sasuke only cared about growing strong enough to defeat Itachi, so he followed Orochimaru.
Absolutely. This is 100%. I'm not going to defend Sasuke, but
he's changed his character.
He's going to force me to change, to fix it.
He changed his in fighting style?
Yes, of course he did.
He changed everything that you could want to.
Because his mindset is of two things. The character change and the fighting change. And both of these things happen. He was a bit of a loner, but then come the time skip, he is ready to literally lightning these two mob that he used to call, that he would consider friends, because he said they were friends, and this random dude that ain't got no dog in this fight. He's just there. So he's ready to literally kill all of them. Oh, that seems like a change to me. Positive, negative, whatever. It is still a change.
Sword fighting now. He has a sword.
Yeah, he conducts the lightning through his sword. A lot of things.
What could he possibly be talking about Sasuke not changing?
To stockpile power the fastest way possible. Once he defeated his brother, he wanted to grow even more powerful to destroy Konoha. So he joined the Akatsuki, the most powerful villain organization the world had ever seen. Once he realized he wanted to keep the village safe, he wanted to get more power to defeat Naruto and enforce his will upon the people of the Hidden Leaf.
And that's his thing. They all just stem back to power. The change.
But so does Deku.
This is very, it's very bad to just.
It's disingenuous.
Very disingenuous to just go, I need to make this seem as bad as possible, so I'm gonna paint this in this very specific light. I value this thing. I value change. They only change for this reason, and therefore it's bad.
Never once did he think to change his motivations or change his fighting tactics, instead choosing to compound.
But he did choose to change his motivation, because he said, hey,
you just said 3 different motivations! Destroy Itachi, destroy Konoha, protect Konoha by destroying Naruto!
He was not just like, hey, I guess I'm joining Akatsuki now. He goes, hey, what was the issue? What happened with Itachi? And then he learned further things. He goes up to the Hokage going, tell me everything. This is I want to be either justified or I'm going to be proven wrong, and then I'm going down another path.
Everything on top of each other, leading to the most stagnant character in the show. You could see this not only through
wait a second. Didn't he? What did he say about his power? His fighting style.
How far do you want it?
That's way too far. That's Jiraiya.
No, I know. I'm just gonna go a 40 ball right there.
Once he defeated his brother, he wanted to grow even more powerful to destroy Konoha. So he joined the Akatsuki, the most powerful villain organization the world had ever seen. Once he realized he wanted to keep the village safe, he wanted to get more power to defeat Naruto and enforce his will upon the people of the Hidden Leaf. Never once did he think to change his motivations or change his fighting tactics, instead choosing to compound everything on top of each other, leading to the most stagnant character in the show.
Change his fighting style, but he compounds things on top of each other. He sees Lee and then he incorporates that speed. Isn't that changing his fighting style? He does a Shishi Rendan.
He has a sword now.
He has a sword now. He uses Itachi snakes and summonings.
What is he meant to change?
What does he mean?
What is the difference between compounding and changing? Because Deku, again, can still use punches. It's not like he's just abandoned.
Actively does.
Sasuke has actively changed multiple things about his fighting style, but I guess the Chidori is just compounded with the sword to make that, so that's just a compound instead of a change.
But what does he want? What could he possibly do? It's a big difference between I have a set abilities that I can grow upon as opposed to
JoJo style.
Arms gone. Well, I guess I can no longer fight. No legs. That's a big enough change. But why is compounding bad, but a full change good?
You could see this not only through his motivations, but also through his fighting styles. As you learn Chidori before episode 50 of the original series, and evolved it into Lightning Blade and other lightning style jutsus that he used all the way up through his final devastating fight with Naruto.
So what? He learned a new thing, and now his fighting style is no longer melee and fire based, it's lightning based.
Yes. He's using the things that he has, and he's using it in a more creative ways that allows him to fight better.
You said it already. I don't know what he wants.
Legitimately.
I at this point, I need him to tell me in detail why Deku is not this. I would have very much liked if after every one of these characters, he went, unlike Deku, who blah, da, blah, blah, blah.
Or it could have been improved by blah, blah, blah.
Nothing with him really changed. It all just kind of evolved.
And is that a bad thing? Is character evolution, is power evolution a bad thing? I would hate if Luffy started just swinging swords for the sake of change. You can just have what you have and then get better with it. You don't need to just go, well, I guess it's a whole new thing now. Because
Obviously,
who else in My Hero does that? He's lambasting all of these people in Naruto for just evolving their abilities. Mm-hmm. But doesn't Bakugo just do that? Who in My Hero changes their fighting style other than Deku? So you've got this...
And he didn't even really change. He just added kicks to his punches.
You got this one example and nothing else. And then you've got all of these other examples, which are essentially the same thing over there in My Hero, but this is bad over here. So you got one great thing in My Hero and 50 bad things, and then 50 bad things over here. And you're just like, well, we'll do it like this over here with the one great thing. I guess the average does come out, because if you got 90 Fs and 1 A, that is better than, because that's a little
Fs.
bit better. But it's not worth just going.
It's such an inconsequential ratio.
This trash, because
Naruto just wanted to be Hokage. There wasn't anything extraordinary about his dream to begin, because it was always possible for him. Regardless of how...
It was not always possible for him. He could have failed his goal. He could have died at some point.
You said we don't know what it takes to be Hokage. Maybe there was a test that needed to happen. Maybe the village elders didn't want to do it. Maybe Kakashi didn't recommend it because he's just like, this kid is not smart. I've seen it firsthand. He is not an intelligent person outside of battle. So he does not get the title of Hokage.
Do you not think it was always possible for Deku, who is gifted the power of the greatest hero, to somehow become one of the greatest heroes, the number one hero, the new symbol of hope?
This foregone conclusion, Bush, is not a point in lambasting something. It's just nothing.
How inept at jutsu he was at a young age. His inherent abilities, Asura Otsutsuki, meant that all he would ever need to do was train and grow in order to become the world's most powerful ninja.
And that's what Deku did once he got his powers. And even then, he would have... It wouldn't have worked if he didn't have the fox. He needed to start in with Kurama. Otherwise, that's cooked. Like, you can't just say, oh, this was always going to happen once he trained. And then look at Deku and go, well, it's always the possibility it doesn't happen if he trains still. Like, you can't.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
They're the same picture.
Dude, this is starting to really piss me off. Like, I don't understand at what point do you look at the series and go, he like me for.
Never once did he come across an issue so monumental that he would need to overhaul something about himself or his fighting style in order to achieve victory.
Neither did Deku. He just decided to start kicking people.
He learned Sage Mode. He perfected it when his master could not, in order to beat Pain, and he could not beat Pain.
What about the Shadow Clone Jutsus?
He learned the Rasen Shuriken to beat Kakazu. The purpose of the pulling...
He's chasing... He saw Sasuke? Who beat him?
The purpose of the pulling the chakra from the fox thing, that resulted in him getting the chakra mode to overcome, to help in the war. He does have to use abilities to...
The closest thing I can think of is his use of wind-style Rasen Shuriken, where he spent a good amount of time developing a jutsu that Tsunade believed would best be classified as forbidden. After using it once against...
You mean like the Shadow Clone Jutsu?
Nuts.
The very first thing he learns?
Kakuzu, he was ordered to never use it again because of the immense risk inherited to the user, possibly tearing through all the cells in his arm. So, did Naruto scrap the jutsu and develop something else? Reluctantly, but intelligently, deciding that his own health was more important than a quick path to power? No, he just threw the thing, meaning he practiced the ability enough to develop it in this way, ignoring the risks and facing zero repercussions.
Pause. So he changed the way that he uses the jutsu?
Legitimately changed it to mitigate the risk to himself. What repercussions does Deku have from changing the shoot style? Does his arm not work anymore? What is he talking about? This guy sucks!
Literally, what does he want? It's a change to the thing. You could talk about how there's no, how he had to train it, and there's no, he never has that, oh, it's damaging your arm things, even later when he's just holding it. You could talk about that, but don't, you're looking at this in terms of the change thing.
But how many times have we seen Deku have like a twang in his arm from previous damage?
No, it's all better now, homie. It's
then what's,
your body is it's adapted to it.
Then what are we talking about here?
Legitimately. It's just, this is good and this is bad. It's the same thing. Yeah, but this is bad though.
Similar representations of his refusal to change in the show were seen in the constant usage success of Takuma.
He literally changed how he uses the move. You can't say it's a refusal to change. This is an incredibly powerful jutsu. It's gonna help me beat people. How do I use it? I can throw it and expand it and explode it.
How do I use it without destroying myself?
That's how I do it. No, but he doesn't change though. What? Literal factual change. Melee Rasengan destroys arm. Can't do that anymore. Throw it and now mitigates the damage. Melee punching destroys arm. Can't do that anymore. Move to kick. Naruto's bad though because he doesn't. What the
I would sooner believe this is a troll
Legit.
than an actual guy sat there and went, I'm cooking.
Flames running down. That's one of the best gifts.
Dude, just the flames everywhere. He's right.
There was something. Cause this whole Willy Wonka thing.
And dude,
It had me crying at work. I was like, I can't be looking at this shit
her
anymore.
sad face with
The twitching unknown. Here it is. His name is not known, so we call him the unknown. He's an evil chocolate maker who lives in the wall. Flames writing down. Had me crying at work. It's on fire, this in Willy Wonka thing.
they already interviewed the woman that was, dude. It's so good.
But yeah, this is completely and totally insane. This is a person, like I said, who is simply looking at it in
How do you have another 7 minutes?
Ah!
His development up.
I think you're on the. Let me go back a little bit.
Similar representations of his refusal to change in the show were seen in the constant usage success of Takano Jutsu.
Change in what way?
Yeah.
What should he have changed there? Did he talk no Jutsu Hidan or Kakazu, whichever one he fought?
Kakazu. Did he see that it didn't work and then just went, dang, I gotta change it up?
Why would you change something that's successful?
When you don't want to kill somebody. When somebody literally goes, the whole I kill you, you kill me, what happens then sort of thing.
His development of zero plan to capture Sasuke after the first one failed. Just the idea of six-path sage mode in general.
Pause.
It's all.
What could his plan possibly be? What do? You say that the talk no jutsu thing is bad. So what could you can't put this man in a net and just bring him back to the village. You either talk to him or you kill him. That's the plans. And those were the only two plans that he had.
Oh yeah, and the people were like, "Hey, if you can't capture him, we're gonna kill him."
That was it.
You have six-path sage mode in general. It's all just growth with nothing new ever truly added. What this sort of writing achieved was absolutely flabbergasting fight scenes. There's a reason people think the Kakashi and Obito fight made the entire 4th Ninja War worth the wait and call the Pain fight the greatest arc in Naruto history. With all this power constantly being stockpiled, episode after episode, arc after arc, you best believe the fight scenes resulting from this compounding evolution are some of the most gripping of all time.
Pause. Of all time, most gripping of all time. In what way? Is it the stockpiling of powers? Is it the enormity of those powers? Is it how they use them? What is it with the mountain of evidence that you're providing? I don't know what it is because I don't know what these people are valuing it. Because people praise this fight for its taijutsu and its tactics. It's not for the stockpiling of abilities because the stockpiling of abilities that you show, they're not in this fight. It is the abilities that Kakashi has always had and the abilities that Obito are showcasing right now, but it's essentially the thing that we've seen before. So I don't know what exactly you're talking about with that. And you're talking about of all time. What about in something like Dragon Ball where they could just flick a planet away? Does that speak to the enormity, the stockpiling? What is it?
Now, if you're a connoisseur of My Hero Academia content, you've likely come across this video by Gigook, describing how he thinks My Hero Academia fights are actually kind of boring. While some of the points he made are honestly done to pad the video, I will say that I agree with his overall message. Fight scenes aren't a payoff like they would be in Naruto. They're a storytelling device crafted to engage viewers because of the implications of the engagement, rather than the scope of the fights themselves.
Pause.
You are foolish, sir.
So, Naruto fights bad because they're emotionless, big punch fights. And this is more of a story fight and not more of a punch fight. That's what he's saying.
No, he's a fool.
Well, obviously. But that is the point of it.
What is overhaul?
Hashtag not all.
He rated it a 10.
Hashtag, oh. But it had emotions behind it. Airy.
So did Naruto Pain.
Well, you can't say that.
So did Kakashi Obito.
Well, that hurts the narrative, so he can't say that. So it just, this is just.
That hurts the narrative.
It's just a big stockpiling of abilities with nothing behind it. That's, again, so very disingenuous.
As such, this flows into why I think change is so important to the uniqueness of My Hero Academia. For all the examples of growth for the sake of growth in Naruto, I assert that
it wasn't growth for the sake of growth, because all those examples you gave were times where people needed to change and grow because bigger and stronger threats were coming. What are you talking about? What did you show of Jiraiya needing to grow? Because that wasn't even an example of growth for the sake of growth. You literally noted he never changed. So what was that example? Sasuke was not strong enough to beat Itachi, which was his goal. And then when he did, he never tried to get stronger. He just went after Konoha. What are you talking about? Where is this mountain of evidence with these 3 examples, 2 of which are already cooked?
There is a comparable number of examples of change for the sake of good storytelling in My Hero Academia.
Oh my fucking god! Fuck! I can't! I cannot be here! This guy is going to make...
of evidence. Here it comes.
Oh, that's outside the door. It's just loud.
I say comparable because comparing a 55 episode anime to a 730 plus episode one is hard to do one-to-one, honestly.
Hey, how about you do the 55 of Naruto and the 55 of My Hero Academia and see if there's any type of correlation between the change and all that stuff.
Take out the fillers, take out things that don't really matter. Just talk about, hey, this is the lead up, this is the fight, this is the breakdown. Just do what you gotta do.
All Might had changed in very minute ways leading up to his fight with All For One, with the last, very obvious change happening following the victory. He began the show in a somewhat benched position, hesitant to fight crime due to the timer on his powers. Symbolic of the degradation of society that had led to the undercover rise of Shigaraki, All Might fighting back against evil in only brief and self-destructive moments showed how close evil was to being able to destroy the peace he meant to maintain. Although he was willing to put himself on the line to fight evil and save lives every single one of those times, what he feared most was the death of the symbol of peace, and his reluctance to show his true form to anybody is indicative of that. However, when evil was at its strongest, he changed his stance on heroes altogether. Instead of putting the weight of peace solely on his own back, he sought to build up the heroic culture and establish a strong heroic task force.
What? What is he talking about?
I have no idea.
Helping to bring all of the top heroes together in a show of strength. He no longer wished to be the only hero capable of fighting back evil.
It wasn't a show of strength. It was to get Bakugo back. What is he talking about? Wasn't it the principal that called that meeting with the teachers and stuff too? Like, I don't know what this secret cabal of heroes was maintaining or doing.
And making people feel safe. And letting his flame burn out meant he fully believed the world was safe without him.
No, it was dying anyway.
And you could either die right here or I could try to take him out with me. It wasn't like, I leave everything to you, this is my last gap. It was I gotta do this.
This guy's here. Literally nobody else can take this guy.
Ready or not, I'm out of here.
I have to do this.
With the symbol of peace dead, he changed.
It wasn't a decision. He didn't go up there to just go, I gotta go save Bakugo, even though it may cost me blah, 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 whatever. No, it was, oh, here he is. Something gotta happen.
A support-oriented role, becoming the teacher Midoriya and other students needed from him. Todoroki's whole plotline in the tournament arc is one that would not be out of place in another, less critically acclaimed show. A boy rejects his immense reserves of power due to its origin until he comes face to face with someone who makes him realize how to wield it for himself, and that it is for him alone to utilize. If the arc had ended with him using his fire against Bakugo and easily winning first place, you wouldn't have heard me complaining. That would have made a perfectly serviceable plot thread. However, his hesitance to ignite after his initial flare against Midoriya indicated that Todoroki's story was not over.
And then it's over the very next time we see him. Mm-hmm. He's just like, yeah, I can use it now, Deku, whatevs.
Instead of doubling down on his hatred of his father and using his...
But you see, a lesser shonen would have just had it be over with.
Does he have an example?
Because
he showed Dragon Ball, but when did that happen? When did something like this happen? The teachings of my master are awful because he's my master, so I'm not going to use them.
It's the mentality of the Dragon Ball. What Dragon Ball would do based upon all the things that it has done. That makes me say that this would do it in this situation.
Is Dragon Ball less critically acclaimed than My Hero Academia? Because he really just threw that out there. Where are you getting these with your mountain of evidence?
Mountain of evidence.
Where's this claim coming from?
Anger to allow him to power up, he changed his opinion on heroism altogether. Shadowing his father in the internship arc meant
he changed, so his character changed, like other people's character changed in Naruto, but that doesn't count.
Mm-hmm. For some reason.
It's just the growth of their power.
able to reject his father while still taking the objective best path to becoming a pro hero. Using the power with very little hesitation against Stain showed how, as a future hero, he would not hold back in order to save a life. Todoroki grew up.
Okay, but we didn't get to see that arc. He goes, I'm not going to use it. I'm still hesitant about it. And then the next time we see him, he's fully using it.
Proficiently.
Yeah, but in order to do so, he had to undergo a massive change in mentality.
He didn't grow. He's using the power he's always had.
Yeah.
Just like Jiraiya.
He's just doing it.
So much so that the core reasoning for him to become a stronger hero was altered in the process. Midoriya is an oddity in main characters. Obviously, he had the never back down, give it your all disposition that got All Might's attention in the first place. But how long did that really last? After obtaining the greatest power possible from the...
He used it against Muscle. The
1,000,000%. He used it against Overhaul.
Let's hear it.
I mean, he used it with the baseball because he didn't give up. He used it in the sports festival.
He used it against Todoroki. Unless, what is his point here?
unless, what is his point here?
The world's #1 hero, you would think that this attitude would only go stronger alongside him. Instead, however, this changed. Whereas Midoriya would leap in to save anyone without a second thought in the beginning of the series, he began to take a more objective outlook on similar situations later on. Breaking 3 limbs to save Uraraka, double breaking his arms to prove a point to Todoroki, these are things that Midoriya would no longer think of doing. Grabbing Bakugo...
Then, I understand this isn't information that you had at the point, but the war arc, he just goes, I don't care what happens to me, Shiggy gotta be stopped. In the overhaul arc, the only reason he was able to go that hard was because he was being healed. It wasn't
reversed.
It wasn't I need to think of a way around this. It wasn't we need to get out of here. It is, I can punch as hard as I need to in order to do this. And again, Muscle.
I guess the forest arc was this. It wasn't Overhaul. It was the forest arc. So that's a 10? Forest arc is not good. He's nuts.
Plus, you say that he wouldn't double break his arm or anything. He has a more objective stance about all this stuff. But then he goes into just going, hey, us 5 months, let's go get Bakugo from the League of Villains that crashed our place and almost killed all of us.
During the final exams and jumping to safety, and saving Bakugo from the firm grasp of All For One. Now those are things that fit his current style. He even admitted himself that...
But he put himself into danger for those situations. A thing that you said he would not do.
He should have never broken his arms as badly as he did to save Koda. Looking back, he would have taken any other route to save the young boy, but at the time he saw no other way. This change in attitude represents him growing up, yes, but it more accurately represents a change from the norm of shonen protagonists and from his past self.
Pause. He saw no other way.
So he did the thing.
And that's a change from the...
Dude. This is going to be...
How can you change if... We said with the brainwashing thing. It's the same thing that happened with All Might. He is literally forced into a situation. You can't get out of it. So you either move forward or you die. And you just go, yeah, look at this change. He's willing to... No, it's not he's willing to do anything. A frog would fight a dog if it was...
Backed into a corner.
It can't run.
A wounded, cornered animal.
My goodness!
Shifted ideology, he first developed full Cowan. Willingly using only 5% of his power would not be something that old Midoriya would think about doing in tough situations, as he would have wanted to give himself the greatest chance of victory. However...
Is that why he went 1,000,000% against Muscle?
This isn't a change based upon his realizing something. They said break your arms again and you will not be able to use them. This isn't a revelation of just going, dang, I'm really hurting myself. I need to find a better way. It is do this again and it's over. It's not a...
Who could have known that this episode would make us this mad?
It's just a dumb, because he's dumb. It's the blind fanboys that always get with the Demon Slayer and the Hunter x Hunter. Those always get to us because they have to ignore everything else
to fit this into a slot.
This dude is actively going, this is bad based upon my very narrow viewpoint of what's good. It's like nobody has this viewpoint. The viewpoint is only in this motherfucker. You have to ignore all the things that are the same in Naruto in order to have this it's insane.
As he came to recognize his importance to All Might and his importance to peace, this modified style granted
it's
him
not his importance.
It has nothing to do with that, dude. Where's that amount of evidence?
This month, he had a gun, and then he lost the gun, so he can't use the gun anymore, so he switches to a knife. He didn't get better. He wasn't like, dang, I'm hurting people. He doesn't have the gun.
The gun jammed and broke. No, the gun jammed, and somebody went, if you fire it again, it's gonna break. So until he unjams it, he uses a knife.
This isn't a change. This isn't a growth. He can't do a thing.
Shoot style is the second stage of this change, even more so representing the minimal risks that new Midoriya is willing to take. Not only does he wish to make his...
He literally cannot do what he was doing anymore. It's not about lack of risk. He cannot.
He can't. He can't do it. It's insane. And he has to twist it like, oh, this genius Midoriya finally putting the pieces together. And his arms are just limply laying at his sides, all scarred up and everything. Like,
His time as the new symbol of peace as long as possible, he is also beginning to change his stance on fighting altogether. In the simplest terms, arms are for fighting, legs are for running. A departure from his past and a departure from All Might, Midoriya is in the midst of changing in ways his teacher would have never imagined.
Is All Might dumb? Is he stupid? This boy can't use his arms anymore. I don't know what he gonna do. Dang, rip the world, I guess. Hey, in Mineta, eat that boy's hair. Cause you the next one. This boy is cooked. It's over for him. I can't imagine any way he just legs.
Who could have ever in their wildest dream of thought to not use arms but use legs to fight? We're all boxers here, and somehow we have never once thought that legs could be used in combat. This is
unbelievable.
I'm not a man that believes in -11.
It's crazy.
But my God. And it's crazy. We have to do that re-ranking at some point. This does not deserve the same Hall of Fame as some of those quasi on the fence Hall of Fame.
This is just, dude is, oh.
How much longer do we have of this?
Just end it. Come on now.
It's felt like
We're
1,000 years.
That's how Six Paths, Ultra Big Ball, Rasen Shuriken epitomizes Naruto. Shoot style does the same for My Hero Academia. One stems from growth.
And you see?
Oh, dude.
That's what it is.
Did he ever make a video post Deku getting the rest of his powers?
His last video. No, I don't think so. I'd have to time it out, but 5 years, 4 years, 3 years.
Yeah, definitely didn't.
But that's his mindset. That's what Naruto is. It's not about the change or the growth or whatever. It's about a big orange fox with 6 Rasengan.
As opposed to the nuance, just change from arms to legs.
But then you just have to go, hey, the only reason that Naruto has that form is because he not only accepted himself, but he extended a hand to the fox and all the other tail beasts who never had that hand extended to him. Because of all of his experiences, he was able to do that to them. Is it logical for them to accept it? Whatever, we're not talking about that. We're talking about how he got to this point. All he sees is the big orange fox.
I was just talking to a coworker today that Naruto would have been, if they were going to do filler anyway, and Kishimoto has already killed the other Bijus, why not just show them in filler arcs?
They did. Fu. I remember Fu because I like Fu. I think Orochi may have gotten. I remember Bubble Man did. Definitely did.
It must not have been enough because I don't know nothing about this.
Well, they were fillers, so.
Was it filler within Shippuden or like a post? Interesting.
Yep. I can't imagine you just seek them out, so it's fine.
There we go.
With an evolution, the other stems from change and innovation. One is the result of constant, uncontested...
And you see, he goes, growth and one comes from growth and evolution. The other comes from change and innovation. It's like...
What are the differences?
Go back to what he said. Because it's like, what are you talking about, homie?
Up instead of down.
Ultra Big Ball Rasen Shuriken epitomizes Naruto. Shoot style does the same for My Hero Academia. One stems from growth and evolution, the other stems from change and innovation.
If you heard that, you'd be like, and not heard any of the other rest of the video, you'd be like, yeah, both are good, right? It's like, no. the Mario one is bad. It's like, what?
What's the difference between evolution and change?
I was gonna say a forced, but that's not it. Because evolution is kind of naturally over time. Survival of the fittest, grow and adapt. I'm not gonna use grow. Adapt.
Change and adapt.
Yeah, we'll use grow. I won't use change because change is over there. In any other one. But yeah, grow and adapt. It's almost like he's not thinking about this.
Hey, innovation would be, let me throw Muff in Rasengan instead of having it tear my arm to pieces.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Because he says it is. Look at the mountain of evidence.
I see 2 sticks.
That was one of the worst possible things he could have said. And then not delivered.
3 examples versus 3 examples. 2 examples on both sides being trash.
One is the result of constant, uncontested compounding of power in order to create a technique so strong that it could never foreseeably lose. The other is a result of situational assessment, logical progression, and a desire to reach...
I can't use my arms no more! Let me stop using my arms no more! Logic!
Situational awareness. Arms don't work. Oh!
Doable way possible. One leads to some of the worst power creep in the medium, but creates fights that are each more incredible than the preceding one. The other leads to some less than stellar fights, but molds the plot so that everything seamlessly reinforces the core ideals of each character. Both have merit, but I know which one I prefer. Reaching maximum potential in My Hero Academia is therefore a much more intricate task. Watching Midoriya develop his abilities prior to the switch in styles was already incredible, so seeing him approach every situation with a new state of mind and a new style, but with the same beaming smile, will undoubtedly one-up everything prior. Not because his power is reaching unbelievable levels, but because as a character and as a hero, Deku, in his own unique way, is always willing to go.
He said go beyond.
No, he didn't. No, he
and
didn't.
you know it cut out right as
Nope. He
is
didn't.
always willing to go.
Oh, it just legit just cuts out.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, we don't get to hear the end of this, y'all.
Hey, check this out. Anomaly. Nah, he doesn't get it.
Wow, I could go with you on Anomaly.
Because he's not thinking about anything other than how this is good,
other than greater signs.
Everything else is bad,
or not as good, or worse.
Not good because it doesn't fit into these parameters. He said in the beginning there are few things that do it, and even fewer things that do it well.
I will be 100% shocked if this man, after reading the more recent My Hero post this video, didn't just rope.
He just killed himself, ended his life.
And talking about his girlfriend or something. But we all know it was about the shoot style and the black whip.
Oh man, he is off the internet.
Yeah,
Twitter doesn't exist. MySpace. MySpace. MyAnimeLists doesn't exist.
Was there controversy potentially?
I don't think so. I think that if there were, it would have been in the comments.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm with you. We can rock an Anomaly on that one, because my God. It's been a while since I was that angry.
It's crazy. It's like I said, it's the blind fanboyism, and it's the what are you talking about?
It's explanations with a lack of explanation. Like you said, when you questioned why I knew that kid's name. It's a answer to your question that is simply a statement acknowledging the question without actually answering the question. It is an explanation without an explanation.
Just, this is good because of this, and this is bad because it doesn't have the good thing. Oh, cool.
Glad we all sorted that out.
Man, just...
we do know what we're doing Saturday.
Half
of it. How long is that video?
Not very. I think it's like 9 or 10.
Oh yeah. We're definitely gonna have to throw something else up on there. Yeah. I look forward to that. We know what we're doing in a couple weeks.
Yeah, boy. It's gonna be.
And we know what we're doing for April, which we really should start hashing out.
You're taking point on that one, because I'm rushing towards my
okay. I just want the direction we're going, and I'll do 85 to 90% of the work there. Yep. Okay. Waiting on you, sir.
No. I was trying to figure out a funny way to.
There's no comedy to be had here.
Yeah,
he sucked everything away from us.
I don't remember the Hunter x Hunter video being that. Was that? I think that's the one where I learned about the juju. No, that couldn't have been.
No. That was way too long ago.
Yeah. Man. He thankfully does not have any other videos
that we could tackle.
Yeah. So that's at least. We can sunset this motherfucker. Oh, dang it. How hero names predict future episodes. Hang on.
I submit very little.
This has to be a joke.
That could have been more interesting battle than just a punching thing. The stakes are no higher or lower. It doesn't matter if Tagoro versus Yusuke is just about it's just boils down to punching. It's a whole lot riding on that fight.
Arguably larger natural engagement factor. The need for power.
Arguably natural larger. I'm so tired of this naturally and blah blah blah.
Arguably naturally. I just want to. I want to see if this is a joke or not.
Both Rikito Sata and Koji Koda also went with names that reference their powers. However, their powers have not yet been showcased by the anime. Sata cherry-picked
the sweet hero, Sugar Man,
because eating sweets gives him a boost in strength. Koda went with
Yep, all about it,
as his abilities allow him to communicate with and get the help of various animals. Now that the simple character names are out of the way, time to move on to
How does that the video is called How Hero Names Predict Future Episodes. And he just goes, this man uses sugar and talks to animals. Why does that predict future episodes?
Do not add it to the list, sir.
No! Of course not!
I don't know. You've been doing some yep, let me just yeah.
He has a Fugo video, but I don't care enough.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ever.
I don't think oh no. I was just about to say I don't think we ever need to do a video from him again, but
Chad, he has timestamps. And the second part is supernova symbolism. We're gonna weevil on that one and sunset this channel. Sick it is.